Let us look so deeply into one another without words as you enter my home and touch my sacredness such that it opens me to fully receive and honor your truth. Wendy E. Slater, number 257, Two Full Circles, Undivided. Hello and welcome. Time for another therapy session, or therapy. This morning I want to work on, or continue working on, what you don't know off camera is that I've actually started creating some pieces, and I'll talk a little bit about that as we move on. But I'll be using hexagon, and I have a very specific reason for using the birch wood. We know the birch wood is a slender tree, often underestimated, but it is rather strong and resilient. And so I'm using the hexagon birchwood canvas, which I have primed with the satin enamel, and we'll be doing that. What I've been working on is with the hexagon shape. I've created a floral pattern, and I've actually created 3 of the panels already, and I'll hopefully take you through that a little bit later. Love the idea of the hexagon, and I want to focus this morning on the chakra. And the chakra includes 7 colors, and we get that feel of it, or the color palette is from the Roy G. Biv. With the exception of the indigo, the white is actually used in the chakra colors, and we'll explain that. And I thought about this as I was reading one of my favorite poetesses, Wendy E. Slater, and she writes some very profound, evocative, visceral poems that just move you. You know, it's said that poetry should take the top of your head off, or touch your feelings, your senses first, and then you go back and think about it. There's just so much substance and wisdom into her extraordinary talent, and I wanted to share that with you. But I want to talk a little bit as we move on to the reasoning behind the chakra, and I equate it to Wendy E. Slater, who, as I said, is very profound, visceral approach and wisdom that she imparts through her poetry. And so my color palette today will be the Arteza red, and in chakra, it is the root. It is the lower part, or the groin area of your body, and it represents survival and grounding and nourishment from the earth, all things connected to the earth. And so I will be using the Arteza red. The orange in chakra has to do with emotions and creativity and your energy and sexuality and the flow, like water, you know, the ebb and flow. And so I'll be using the Purim Masters orange. For the yellow is the solar plexus, which is your midsection, and the yellow is intellect and personal power and will. And so I'll be using the yellow, just like in our Roy G. Biv or our rainbow colors. The green relates to love, relating, integration, compassion, understanding, and all of that wonderful stuff that goes with that. And that is the heart. The green in chakra is the heart. And then we have the blue, which is the throat, or is the area that represents the throat in chakra. Again, I'm using this time it is the Arteza blue, blue aquamarine sort of color, and it represents self-expression and truth and communication. And it makes sense when you think of blue, when you think of the chakra, and it is the throat area. And then we have, the white on our chakra chart represents that third eye, the center of your face. And some people actually, believe that third eye gives you that ability to see things that may not be as clear to others, almost equated to ESP, if you will. So that white, again, the third eye representing a universal connection, spirituality, which we find in many, many of Wendy Slater's poems that can be found in Ochre of Abundance, Into the Heart, which is actually part of her Chajuka Wisdom Poetry series, so I highly suggest you pick those up as well. Of the Flame, another wonderful continuation of that wisdom and the journey that we take, and healing, of course, is a big theme in Wendy Slater's poems. And then there's Perspective, the Constellation, and Two Full Circles. Timeless modern poetry, which I know you will very much appreciate. And then I'll be using this Magic Fly, it's called, and it's a brilliant purple. And the purple in chakra is the crown, yogi tradition, healing, the auric or energy field as well. And that can be brought into the, the universal connection that it would have with the white, and that wisdom and spirituality, consciousness, awareness. And it all ties in, all of the chakra colors really do, with the base of the white and that essence of self. So what I had a thought of doing is using the hexagon, which is the six-sided, and that would be representative of 6 of the colors. And then my center, that would be the 7th, would be that white, which is, the universal connections they all have. What I'm doing on each panel is pouring down different types of techniques, and I haven't quite decided about the center. I would so appreciate if you subscribe to my channel and provide some support and perhaps shed some ideas before I actually get to the panel. I believe I'll only be doing 2 today, and then probably the final 2, the last petal, as it were, and that center tomorrow. But we'll see how this goes. So the first thing I wanted to try this morning is called a transfer. All right, now I don't plan on spinning it, but let's see how it goes. I haven't done these very often, but I thought I would give it a try with this particular one. I want to take that off to the side so that hopefully no extra paint that I don't want to goes on there. So what I want to do is just bring some white out first for the flow. I'll probably be adding a little bit to it. All right, so I'm adding my, I'm actually using a bone white. I just thought that, I don't know, it just spoke to me. Rather than the titanium, I'm thinking body healing, and what better representation than a bone white. And this is an Arteza as well that I mixed. All of the paints have been mixed with 1 ounce of Liquitex, the gloss medium, and then the remaining part is water. And what you do is just add the water gradually until you get a warm honey consistency. And so that's what I've done here. I want to go in with my red. I think I need to just kind of bring this up just a little bit so it doesn't flow out before I want it to. So we'll go in with our survival, grounding, and nourishment color. I'm going to go in with my emotions and creativity, flow water, orange. Again, it's Arteza. I want to go in with chakra, intellect, personal power, and will, our yellow. And Wendy Slater definitely touches upon those themes as well in her beautiful, beautiful poetry. All right, I want to go in with my chakra, love, relating, integration, and compassion. Relating with the universe, relating with oneself. As you can find those themes in Wendy E. Slater's collection, The Ochre of Abundance, come to mind in this perspective of the constellation. All right, so we have our green down. I want to go in with my chakra blue, self-expression, communication, truth. Did not do what I had wanted it to do. So let's see if I can just quickly tidy that up. I don't necessarily want my colors to bleed. I must have shaken it a little too much. And that happens. Okay, I think we're good. Go in with my purple, intuition, ESP, and that inner wisdom that Wendy E. Slater does talk about through her work, through her beautiful, beautiful poetry. I think I want to end it off with some white. Grounding, spiritual, shining through. I'm going to add a little bit more here. And what I actually wanted to do, and I should have done it earlier, sorry, wipe my hands off, put my gloves on. I'm trying to do a little bit of just quiet, meditative sort of time in using our chakra energies to help us through that. And I want to quick blow out some bubbles. There are quite a few. How's everyone doing this morning? Still rather cold here. It's not snowing, which is fine. Although I don't mind when it does snow. I'm inside looking out. That's a good day. All right, so I want to put down some of the white onto that. I'm putting white on the hexagon, and I am putting a little more than I may need, but I think this calls for it. I'm going to pop out some bubbles from that white, that bone white. Just show you what's going on. Just moving it along just a little bit. Getting it to try to cover as much of that as I can before I begin the transfer. All right. I'm going to lift up. Actually, you know what? We're going to kick this up and see if it works. I'm going to use my swiping medium, which is a white satin enamel that I have mixed with flutrol, GAC, and then coconut oil. And I got it pretty thin. I want to actually swipe before we do a transfer. Why not? All right, so I put it on my palette knife. I'm going to shake off some excess. And I'm going to swipe through and go slowly, angle it about 1 degree. I'm going to try to go slowly here so that I do get some cells activating. I'm going to bring it out to here and off. All right. Huh. That's interesting, right? Those beautiful chakra colors peeking through. I'm going to carefully lift this off, bring out my petal from my hexagonal floral piece, and I'm just going to transfer this out and hope it runs off. I'm going to try to go very slowly and just transferring the pinks, these beautiful chakra colors. Hold that. We have that red, survival, that orange, the emotions and creativity, the yellow, that intellect, our green chakra with love. I'm going to angle it a little bit and bring it this way. Self-expression. I'm going to go the other way. Lift it off just a little bit. There we go. I want to have this sort of whimsical look to it. And I hope I don't lose too much of it. Some self-expression going on, right? With that blue chakra color. It's beautiful. Purple, that inner wisdom that Wendy E. Slater so beautifully reveals to us and allows us that healing process. I'm actually going to go around it, around the perimeter, because there's enough paint here, and I'm thinking that might actually just give it another layer, sort of framing our universe, chakra, grounding us, providing us greater opportunities and insight. And wherever life takes us, if we can just connect to those feelings and thoughts, we can hopefully make sense of our world. All right, so we've got our chakra colors, and this is the first time I'm doing this. So I want to just tilt it a little bit and see what happens. I don't want to lose the essence of what's going on here, and I'm glad that I framed it some, because it actually is quite pretty. I'm trying to maintain some of that framing. I'm really liking the effect that that's having, and it does have the white, bone white, and there are some natural cells that are occurring there, and it's actually really pretty. Tilt it toward you just a little bit. Again, I don't want to lose the framing because I'm really liking it. Let's see if I can bring it back some, because there's just an area here that's a little resistant, but again, I don't want to lose that. I don't want to lose my chakra and have them become muted and muddied, but I do want them to combine just a tad. All right, I want to touch up just my sides and blow it out. This will continue to flow down, and I will probably go back when all is said and done to touch up the sides and where the colors are becoming muddied. I don't know if you're catching it on the camera, but they are. And I'm not really liking it, but I'll probably go in with the white, perhaps bring the chakra colors in there where they haven't flowed from the canvas. In some areas they have, and they look real pretty. There's a real wonderful balance here that's interplaying on this birch canvas, and it's looking quite nice. All right, I want to torch some of those air bubbles that have formed. I'm loving the cell structure that's going on here. There are some very subtle boulders and some whimsical effects, and some of the orange and red that's peeking through. That essence of calmness, just that blue is actually quite soothing. The interplay is real beautiful. I really like the effect that I did around the canvas, and I think next time I might actually do a little bit more. I want to just tilt this just a little bit, because there seems to be some paint that kind of is hanging out over here and not really wanting to do anything else. All right, I want to leave this to the side, but I'm really liking the way that this one turned out. Let me know what you think. Please leave your comments for me. I like to expand on the things that I'm doing and sharing with you. All right, one other piece that I like to attempt this morning is my take on a sort of chaotic ring pour of sorts. But not really. We're going to put a little twist on it. So I'm going to take another petal using my hexagon. And this time I'm going to once again put down white on my canvas. And hopefully this will work out as well. I did make several attempts on my own before I got on camera, just to see if it would work. It did. Will it work here? We'll find out. But I want to just tilt it a little bit and have some of that paint play nicely with my canvas. I'm not going for complete coverage because I'm hoping, well, I'm thinking that it may be too much paint once I introduce the next part of it. So let me just torch some of those bubbles. I find this painting, the fluid art painting, actually very therapeutic, and it's very forgiving, and I like that. I have tried oil painting, and again, I'm not an artist. That wasn't my calling. I actually took it up after my stroke, and so it's helped me. It soothes me. It calms me. It keeps me grounded to a great extent. You know, like the red in the chakra keeps us grounded. And Wendy Slater's poems help keep me grounded. So I suggest if you're struggling or just looking for some excellent poetry, do grab some of her offerings. And so this grounds me and helps me and just gives me an inner peace. And so I paint, and I'm sharing it with you. But again, do leave your comments, subscribe to my channel. If you like what you see, hit the like button. If you don't, leave a comment. What would you like to see? What could be perfected? What am I doing wrong? All right, so what I want to do is actually put layers of our chakra, the white, which is that third eye, universal connection, and I want to bring it in here between all of our other colors. And I want to take all my little lids off so that I can do that rather quickly, because I fear that once I start pouring it into this, I got these. I thought it would be kind of fun. I don't know if any of you use these, but they're actually to dig dirt, like if you're planting little seedlings or, you know, transplanting little seedlings or what have you, and you just kind of go in there and scoop up the dirt and someone stop shopping, I don't know. But I said, maybe I could use these for some sort of pour. So I'm using them. I don't know if anyone else has used them before. If not, we'll be the first. It's my first, so we'll see if it works out. All right, so I'm gonna go in with some white, that anchor. I'm gonna go in with the red. Letting it pour down. I'm gonna go in with some more white. I don't know if the camera's catching this. I'm gonna go in with my orange, again keeping with the chakra colors, and the Roy G. Biv. I'm gonna go in with that white, my anchor, my yellow, right? Solar plexus color. Excuse me. Intellect, personal growth, our green, which is our heart color. Going again with some white. A lot of white this time. I'm going to go in with my blue, the Shush, Arteza, Aquamarine. Going with my white again. Going with my crown, my chakra, purple, healing, like Wendy's books. I'm going to start all over again, because there's enough room in here. And I want to make sure I have enough paint. I'm going to go in with my white, again with my survival color, my red. Oops. Go in with my white again. Tad of white. Going to go in with my sacral, my lower abdomen color, which is our emotion or our emotions. I'm going to bring in that white once again. Again, I use the bone white, water, and a liquitrol. What did I leave off? Orange. Oh no! My yellow. Sorry. This is what happens when you're multitasking. I can usually do it real well. And some days I'm rather distracted. Oh, was that a Freudian slip? All right, so I went in with my yellow. I need to go in with my green. Love, compassion, relationships. My white once again. I'm going to go in with my blue. Hit it with some more white. Again, I'm just trying to keep the colors separate. And I'm going to go in with my chakra purple, my crown. That intuition, ESP, and healing. They all have healing powers. And I don't think I'm going to add my white at the end. So I want to move these to the side, only because I don't know what's going to happen. Let me just put the caps on. I do not want my paints to dry. It actually takes more time to mix up these paints than it does to actually do the pours. That is what it is. All right, so I'm going to do sort of just let it flow and see where that, I don't know, that expression, that blue of the chakra, you know, the one for self-expression takes us. So let's go. Some around. I may lose it when I tilt. It is my intention to tilt here, but we'll see what happens. I don't think I'll have any more here. I'm rather surprised. Oh, actually, there's pleasant surprise because I thought that our red, you know, the root, as we see here, is quite visible and it pops. But here it's actually contained inside these little cells, and it's rather pretty. I want to torch some of this. There are quite a few bubbles here as well before I tilt. All right, so this is the other petal to our hexagonal flower, which is what we would have at the end. So I want to tilt it, and I'm going to tilt this one. You know what? I'm not going to tilt it. I'm going to move the one we just created, and we're going to spin this one and see what happens. I'm going to put it over there, move these, and I have my heavy-duty turntable today, so hopefully it will stay in place. So let's spinning our world, and that excess paint will just veer off. Oh, it's looking like butterfly wings. Very pretty. All right, definitely needs more spinning. Little tickle in my throat this morning. I know that I'm giving a shout out to my daughter Carrie, who's actually has walking pneumonia right now. So I'm hoping she's getting the rest that she needs. And her boys, Brady, her second boy, and Drew, her youngest boy, are very, very ill as well. This viral thing that's going on. So they are on medicine, hoping that They're on the mend real fast. And then Colton, who's my daughter Vicky's youngest son, he started yesterday, not feeling well, and he has a fever this morning. So, or actually, it started yesterday afternoon. So she's having him tested because it may be strep, and we know how dangerous that can be. So if there's anyone out there who's not feeling well, please do check in with your doctor, urgent care, wherever it is that you go to seek medical attention, because there's a lot going on out there. And we definitely want to be healthy. All right, I'm seeing that some of this is, that one is not it. Let me shoot out some more white. And I'm going to combine it here just a little bit. There's not enough paint. It was either too much paint the other day where I had like a gallon I must have gone through just on waste. And then this where I didn't put enough. All right, let me spin it again. I may have to go in and do something with that butterfly that's going in the center. Oh, it's very pretty though. Really pretty. All right, what I want to do is go in with my palette knife and just drag it through a little bit because I'm not really caring for what's going on here. So I just want to kind of bring it together and add another depth, another dimension, that focal point, and bringing that white. I did introduce titanium white with my bone purposefully for this one, and I'm sorry if I didn't mention it earlier. Let me know what you think. As I said, I went with the bone because I thought the chakra, which is that healing or the healing colors, and I thought the bone color was actually appropriate for this particular piece. Let me know what you think. All right, I want to just introduce it here as well. Bring some of that out. It's a little off, so let's center a little bit. And let me give it another spin. There are some wonderful cells and boulders that are naturally forming in this piece, and I'm really liking where it's going. So hopefully, when I take you in for a close-up, you'll see what happened with this particular piece that I did with that. And how appropriate is this, the beginning of life, a seedling, a plant, you know, just to take it and, I don't know, it's just beautiful. I like the idea. Oh, this is turning out real well. I'm going to do one final spin and then torch. There is some excess paint still coming off, and it's actually going down the sides, so I may not need to do anything at all with the sides. This is actually really pretty. I may have to try this again on a larger scale. It's just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. All right, let me go in and torch some of those bubbles. Stop that from spinning. I'm just torching a few. The interplay of the bone and the titanium white in the center is just incredibly beautiful. And it has some wisps of that green that have made their way into it. And so that idea of being grounded in the spiritual nature of the earth, interplaying with that blue, you know, and the green, the heart and the white, it's just beautiful. It has some real glorious boulder cells that are happening here that are encapsulating some of the lighter green and the orange and the yellow, and then peering through some white, again surrounded by orange and green, our chakra colors. And here we've got our red, that grounding effect that is interplaying with the blue. That, as I had said, when it mingles with the red, it turns into that indigo that we were looking for, that you would typically see in the rainbow. But here it is, our chakra colors in their full glory. And I want to thank Wendy E. Slater for the inspiration for all of my pieces. Again, I will be doing the final two tomorrow, including that center one. Although, to be honest, I think that I may use this as the center. It's just very, very striking, and I'm hoping that the camera catches it. And if not, I will try to get pictures up so that you can see just how beautiful it is. Please do leave a comment. And again, you do need to subscribe in order to do that. All right, so let me take you in for a close-up. And always remember, a beacon of darkness is not despair, but transformation to the core. The Ochre of Abundance by Wendy E. Slater. And here's this final piece. It's just magnificent. I'll just take you in for a close-up at what's going on, the interplay of that bone and titanium white. And here's where the indigo formed when it hit the red. I'll take you out here to some pieces that I had done that are part of this floral pattern. Here I did a comb sweep, again with our chakra colors. And there I did just a floral, a fluid pour, or dirty pour, as it's called, again, chakra colors. And this one, I did a swipe using my dustpan. And then the one that we just did together is that piece right there. And hopefully when they're all together in our hexagonal floral or floral centerpiece, they will look beautiful. I thank you for joining me. Be good to one another.